I think this trip, coming from the signing, has been one of those trips that really has me like, wow, like this, it just happened. It's one thing you pray for something, you pray for it, but then with your prayers and receiving is totally different. So now that I'm receiving it, I'm looking at it, it's like, wow, this is actually happening. Like, God really answers prayers. And then on the other hand, I'm like, okay, wow, we're really doing it. This is happening. There's no, no turning back now. You know, we were at the hotel. I could have quit anytime and said, okay, we're going back to Brooklyn. But now we have a place. And this is really it. This is it. We got our place. We got our home. This is it. The support from our teams, the volunteers, even having the people come out all the way from Brooklyn, and not just the support but the excitement. And they're excited not just for me but for CCC, the family. We are expanding, things are happening, and there's nothing better than being a part of an organization that's thriving.
I'm a member of CCC Brooklyn. Okay. And I've been a member there for about 10 years now. It was important for me to come here today because this is an extension of our Brooklyn campus. So basically, we're just bringing our family from Brooklyn out here to Long Island to share it with the community. And I needed to be a part of that.
To be a part of growth and give back to a community where I grew in so much is just, again, refreshing, and it just means so much to me where I know I needed to be here to not only be a part of the day, but see where I can fill in other spaces. This is a lot of work is going on, but it's actually like celebration.
For the past 2.5 years, we've been bouncing around. We've been a little nomadic, renting hotel from hotel. We even rented some catering halls and squeezed ourselves in it. At the time, during the week, I'm going from place to place looking for a location to start having services. But the process, I must say, I learned a lot. I took my patience, perseverance, really to a mindset to be in a comfortable place, knowing that God is in control. And this came about, through my wife, Rita. I got to give my wife, Rita, a shout out because I would never looked at this place. And she brought it to us, and here we are,
Years ago, we used to live around here. And I would drive by here. I thought there was another church happening here. I always had it in my head, it's a good church is probably there. They're probably never leaving and we'll never get it. As time went on, now all of a sudden it was talk about coming out to Long Island. Pastor Jamal went out looking and he would come home and bring all the little, look at this building, look at this building. And I'm like, okay, not convinced because I was just searching and this happened to pop up. And I thought that it was probably an old listing. I decided to send it to him and he ignored me. Because he thought I was trying to show him $1 million home. And when he finally paid attention, he realized what it was, and then he said to go ahead, that he wanted to go forward with it and just see it. He was like, you never know, let's just go see it. And it ended up being that the Dale Carnegie building fell through. And here we are, putting those keys in my hand. It was awesome. It was just such a joy and a warmth inside. It was an amazing moment.
What's on my heart to share for tomorrow for the first service? There's a couple of things. One of the main things is I found myself, when we got to the week of the closing, I was like trying to be on my P's and Q's with, making sure my prayer life is good, making sure I was on point. I was at a level looking at it and saying, okay, I don't want anything to mess up, hinder this. By the middle of the week, God really showed me through my study that, look, the hand of God is moving. You're not going to stop moving the hand of God. So this is happening because God ordained it. If you align yourself up with God's timing, God's way, and if you align yourself up with God's movement, and you'll be able to find a peace in your waiting. There's a peace outside of the turmoil, outside of the obstacles, outside of the discouragement, outside of the emotional roller coaster that you get when you know that this is something that God has asked you to do. This is something that God has ordained you to do. When you know and you're sitting in that place, in spite of everything else, there's a peace. And then as time goes on, you'll start seeing the hand of God move.
You're gonna encounter some things. There's some things that you're gonna do, but in order.
I'm from Chicago actually, so I'm new to the area, and I was looking for a great church home. So when we heard about the move and that they were here, we were very excited because it's not far from where we live, and the message is excellent. So we're excited to be here.
Oh, it's just off the chain. Hallelujah. Praise God.
Beyond expectations. Everything was great. The music was great. The singers anointed. You got a special surprise from Pastor Karen.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome. And especially when they were singing, I'm going to put a praise on it, the very beginning, which says there's a breakthrough in this room with your name on it. That's when I got it. Because when you realize the power of God and the magnitude and the sacrifice that it took to get into this place, this is just the beginning of us affecting and changing lives right here in this small town area. And we're just looking forward to being that blessing.
I have to confess a degree of jealousy because when I started, our first church was about 26 feet long and 12 feet wide. And we had 20 chairs.
His 20 seats were, God was not setting up for then. He was setting up for times like this.
Yeah, but why did I have to be the seed?
Why not? Somebody
I wanna
has
be
to
the
be.
fruit.
Somebody always has to be the seed.
Okay, I'll always have to.
The good thing about it, you can be the seed and still bear the fruit.
Ooh,
Right?
that'll preach.
Thank you.
I love him, which means I'm committed to his success, to his growth, to his development, even to his struggles. I believe that he's anointed and designed by God for what he's doing. Thirdly, I believe that he's a part of a greater purpose that God is engaged in, and I believe in him.
I can't wait to see what God has for us. This is only the beginning.